everyone, this is Matt from drawingtutorialsonline.com. Listen, I've got a really cool critique for you to watch. Have you ever put too much detail into a drawing, and in doing so you actually made your drawing look more flat, more two-dimensional by adding too much detail? Well, if you put too much detail in shadows, what happens is you tend to flatten out your drawings. And worse yet, if you put too many lights in the shadows, you tend to flatten out your drawings as well. So check out this video critique. If you're guilty like I was in the past of putting too much detail in your drawings, check it out. Your drawing is really good looking. I mean, my God, like I love the way that you modeled the mouth. I love the way that you modeled the nose. Really good modeling in the eye. I like the modeling with the overall face. And I also very much love the way that you did that edge. Like it's very volume-esque. It's much improved the piece. No doubt about it. Now, there are things that are very difficult for me to teach. Like, it's the way that you see things. Like you are so detail orientated. This is really my entire critique, what I'm going to say in the next couple sentences, because this is really what you've got to focus on. You are overly stimulated by details, and I was the same way. Your brain loves details, and your brain loves to draw them. But what you've got to do to your really detail-orientated eyes and brain is you've got to tone some of that detail down, and you've got to try to see things more in simple shapes. What the heck am I talking about? So for me, here's exactly what I'm talking about. Let me get a brush. When I look at this girl's eye, I see it as a unit of her dark eye into her dark lashes. You're seeing it as individual highlight, light over here, individual dark pupil, individual lashes. That's way too much detail. That detail needs to be contained within that shape. Now, when I look at her nose, now granted, this is a photo of a photo of a photo probably, so everything just kind of got lost. But when I try to look at her nose, I see that overall shape of shadow. Then I see that turning plane of shadow. But you're seeing the light under here, you're seeing the light over here. So you're seeing way too much detail. And look, you're putting lights in your shadows. There's no light over here on this photo, none whatsoever. This needs to be darker. Yes, there's a highlight over there, but this eye should be put in its proper place. And I see this as the lashes with the eye together. So the long and the short of the critique is that, number one, your drawing is gorgeous. The way that your hand handles the pencil and the way that you apply the pencil to the paper is stunningly beautiful. There's a lot of dimension with your drawing. The issue that I see, and I've done the same thing when I was younger, is I wanted to put detail everywhere. So let's use like a landscape for an example. So I would paint an image of somebody on a book cover, and they were in a landscape, and the landscape went back for miles and miles and miles, and I would be putting so much detail on the trees and the mountains in the background that there was so much detail that everything just became flat. Whereas those trees and those mountains in the backgrounds, I should have just been simplifying the light and the shadow shapes and turning them into soft, simple surface planes, and not painting every single rock on the mountain and every single leaf in the tree. That's what you're doing. You're seeing every single little individual lash, but you should be looking at the lashes as a grouping together. case in point, like this should just be one big shadow shape on the top of her head, but you're putting all these lights in those shadow shapes. Do you see what I'm talking about? So the key to you being able to draw this girl's likeness is truly the ability of you to look at things and to try to simplify their shapes, or simplify. A different way for me to say this is when you see this girl, her eye, you have got to squint. Come on, Matt, you can do this. You have got to squint at it, and you've got to say, okay, this is my overall container of darkness that her eye is going to be housed in. And where's my lightest light? Well, one of my lightest lights on her is right here on the nose. Is there any of that light that I see on the tip of her nose and over here in that shadow shape? Absolutely not. There's no pure white in that shadow shape. So then you start to break it down even further and you say, okay, cool. I see a shape of a middle tone over there. I see a shape of a middle tone over there. I see a shape of a middle tone over here. So those are my three big shapes within that shadow shape. And the rest I'm going to just simplify. And when you do this, that's when the magic is going to happen for you. And you've got to stop putting lights in shadows. You have lights in all of your shadows. And when you do that, you destroy the likeness and you destroy the overall shape. Again, I'm so very excited for you because your drawing just looks phenomenal. But what I'm trying to teach you is that you've got to take some of the detail out of your drawing and you've got to see more simple shapes. And you've drawn her now twice. I would move on to another piece of reference, draw somebody else, and then come back to her in like 2 months and try to draw her again. Okay? Nice work. All right, I hope that you learned something from that video. Understanding how and when to eliminate details and instead put in big shapes is something that's really, really powerful and something that you want to employ in your own artwork. Listen, over here at members.drawingtutorialsonline.com, we just remastered tons of our online pose videos. Right now, we've got about I think it's 33 online pose videos. And online pose videos are just these videos that you come here and they're timed poses and you just draw from them. And we've been doing this since 2008 when I first started the website. And we have some male models, female models, clothed models, mostly nude models. And with each online pose video comes a downloadable PDF. So if you're looking for some images of figures to draw, both nude and clothed, come on over and check out our membership. And thanks so much for watching this. I'll talk to you soon. Be good.